welcome to Good Dining with Mr. Floyd. My name's Josh. I am a channel Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain. Mr. Floyd was the handle I had when I started channeling on YouTube. I dropped my phone. And so that's the handle that we still have. I have yet to change the channel name, so if you have a good suggestion, throw it in the chat. Actually, throw it in the comments, and I don't always see the chat because I'm here. So good dawning. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for when I go live. We do this daily on Monday through Friday, 8:33 my time. That's Mountain Time. I'm about 30 minutes from Rocky Mountain National Park, 30, 35, 40 minutes, give or take. And most watch are in the East Coast, and it's 10:33. So there you go. Grateful you are here, and if you're watching in the rewind or in the replay, grateful as well. I want to say good dawning to Yannick, and he was on vacation in Panama, I do believe. If he's still there or not, we don't know. But if you're watching from Panama, how awesome is that? And if you were in Panama, how awesome was that nonetheless? Henny, Helene, Laura, Millie, Leah, Fatima, Cricket, good dawning. Good dawning all. Welcome, family. And if you're just your first day here, we consider you family. Saint Germain is grateful that you are here. And if you do like and subscribe, Saint Germain says bonus to you. It just shows that if you're looking to make change in your universe and you start doing outward things to make change, and this may be where Saint Germain's going, because this is how this kind of works here. So I start talking, but it's semi-channeled through Saint Germain, and then it becomes the channeling. That's what I've been noticing. But nonetheless, we're going to do a couple of things beforehand. But if you make change or want to make change, and you start making that change in yourself, or you start expressing that change outwardly, then you'll see that change in your universe. There we go. You'll see things happen in your universe. So like liking and subscribing this is an outward expression to your universe that you want to see change. If you subscribe to any spiritual channel, it doesn't have to be me specifically, but I wouldn't mind, but wherever you're watching there, your universe picks up on the patterns, and then more of that pattern becomes, and you see more spiritual stuff, more change. All right, so what we're going to do, what we've been doing, we've been working with Isis and the Pyramid of Protection. That pyramid's still there. We're going to come back to it at some point. But right now, and there is a common house finch. I swing my camera, but it's not going to be fast enough. There's this common house finch that's been sitting on my porch for the past few, like on and off past few weeks. And she's getting closer to my patio door. It's kind of weird. So I take that as a definite sign from Spirit that there's the common house finch is flying around. Now it's sitting on my chair on my porch. So there we go. The universe does not lie. Those things are signs. If you're sitting in your house and you're seeing a finch landing on your porch doing a live, that's real. I mean, the bird's real, but there's something more behind it. The meaning's going to be to you specifically, but it's like Millie Shaw posting when she sees her hawk in her neighborhood or what have you. It's all signs. It's all source talking to you. So we were working with Isis and our pyramids of protection as the bird's flying around on the porch. So what we're going to do today, though, we're going back to cord cutting, and we're going to be doing this. I've been doing this daily. And it has lightened my load. And the way you can tell it's light and low, it's not like you're going to physically lose weight. But at the same time, there's a heaviness as you go through the dark night of the soul, as you go through the work. And the work being the shadow work, the great work. The hero's journey, whatever you want to call it. The purging, there you go. The dumping of the trash. The emptying of the suitcase, there you go. You get lighter inside. You physically feel lighter as every emotion that you've been holding trapped makes your body denser. This is true. I mean, it's like physics. So your body is denser. It's got more energy. It's got slower vibrating energy that's trapped in it is gone. That's the emotions, whatever you have trapped in there. And so from your end, as we cut these cords, you're also cutting, and it may be symbolic or what have you, but the body reacts nonetheless. You can sit here and imagine that you're running a race, and your heartbeat's going to, and if you're a runner, that's how you, instead of running, you can visualize, and you'll do equally, almost as well. Not completely, but almost equally as well as those who didn't visualize and just ran the race and practiced by running versus practice through visualization. There you go. So in this case, if we're visualizing that we're cutting cords, and that's a form of Reiki as well, that a Reiki master would say, I'm going to cut your cord, so to speak. They may do it with like a selenite wand or something, though. But either way, it's the same intention. And so if you're putting that intention into that and you're cutting that cord, you're also cutting the dense emotions tied to that individual that are trapped in the body. Not to say you may not have to feel through them at some point or what have you, but the density of it is going. It's leaving your body. You may not have to cry through that emotion. If you're truly continuously doing this, your body's going to start to release on its own whatever you're cutting. So if you're cutting your parents, then it's going to, obviously the positives are always going to stay, but it's going to start releasing the negatives. You may actually start to find the heavier emotions of your parents come out really fast. It may not, but the immediate effect is that you physically, even though you haven't lost a pound, you physically feel lighter, like as the emotions, just the act of it makes your body inside feel a lot looser, a lot lighter, and you are freeing up light space, lighter, bring in more light, which is the whole idea. You're dropping the dense trauma, and you can bring in more light into your body and hold more central sun to become more source love. There you go. All right, so what we're going to do today, we did yesterday as our mom and our dad, so we're going to include them, but we don't have to focus on them, but we're going to still do that. We're still going to continue to cut the cords. So we're barreling up. So now we're going to include other immediate family members, be it grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, and cousins. There you go, just the immediate family. So when we cut cords, it's going to be grandparents, aunt and uncle, cousins, brothers and sisters, mom and dad. That's it. That's all we're cutting today. It's real quick. If you have any dense trauma that's been placed upon you, like for me, I had a lot of dense trauma placed on me until I realized I did. I didn't even realize I did until I realized I did from my grandfather who liberated Buchenwald concentration camp. Because that's humongous, untreated generational trauma passed to my mother to me. Which is why I always had this humongous sadness. Everyone would look at me and ask me, physically, are you okay? You seem sad. And now I know why I seemed sad. I had no idea. I just thought that was the general human condition. I had no idea. You don't know what you don't know because that's how you are. But that was the generational trauma, that sadness my grandfather invoked in his auric field and in his soul, really. The sadness when he saw 100,000 dead people in like 5 seconds. Like, poof, there's Buchenwald and there are dead people everywhere. So what we're going to do is cut some cords. So you can sit down, you can stand up. There's no specifics to any of this. This is stuff that I'm not a Reiki master or anything, but I've seen Reiki do this exact same thing. I'm not emulating. This is actually coming through from Saint Germain. That's a lot of what I'm doing here, even though it's just me, is still channeled nonetheless. It would be like if you were doing just watch a free-flowing YouTube video of, say, Lori Ladd or whomever, Phil Good, whomever you're watching, Kyle Cease. It's still just a free-flowing YouTube video, but the higher self is still channeling it in, or source or whoever is still channeling that message through them nonetheless. Any free-flowing YouTube video is still channeled in some fashion. So keep that in mind. Hot coffee. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to sit down, we're going to center down. And wow, there's 15 here. Thank you. And so imagine yourself, close your eyes, and we're going to bring up, and just when you see, instead of, you can either do one of two things. When you close your eyes and I say your brother or your sister, you can visualize them, their name, or just the word brother and sister. But the idea is that we're cutting that cord. So then you imagine, if you will, a light cord between you and then your brother or sister, if you have one. I don't think in 7 lifetimes I haven't had a brother or sister, but that's another story. Past life regression stuff. So anyways, so imagine that cord being attached, say, to your grandparents. Everybody's had a grandparent. So attach it to your grandparent. And then when we're cutting the cord, imagine the sword cutting that cord to your grandparent. We're not cutting the positive. The positive always stays with you. Your intention is we're cutting the negative. Any negative cords that we have cut, anytime you weren't seen by your grandparents, anytime you weren't heard by your grandparents, anytime they asked you why you're wearing that versus what they would want you to wear because that's how grandparents were. Or anytime you went over there and they made you eat your vegetables, whatever, and you didn't like that, whatever it is, or they disrespected you, or maybe they were mean. Whatever it is for you, we're cutting those cords. We're not cutting the cords of the great smelling apple pie that your grandma used to bake, or what have you, or your favorite dinner with grandpa and grandma, or whatever it is for you. Everybody's different, of course. Okay, so my grandfather ran a place called Pollock Johnny's, and so my best memories are going there, watching him spin me up when he was running the restaurant, spinning up a Polish from Pollock Johnny's. There you go. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and cut cords. So if you want to bring it in, imagine your parents. We're going to start with our parents. We did that yesterday, but we're going to keep bringing in more, and it'll get faster until we're just cutting cords, like, and take 2 minutes. Because we don't have to visualize it except for once. And we feel that pain and the hurt real quick, and we cut the cord. And as you keep cutting the cord, the pain that you're feeling is going to be less. Your body, as you're cutting this on a daily basis, is going to lighten up. It's like we said, the runner who is imagining that they're running the race is their training, who does just as well as the runners who run the race, run around the track every day doing their training instead of just imagining the race. That's how it works. I don't know why. Don't know how. Sometimes we just do things, right? So let's close our eyes. We're going to imagine our parents. So you can see mom and dad in your eyes. You can see their names if you went by them, or you could see their faces. Whatever works for you. You can visualize them in the kitchen, whatever you want to do. And so there you go. So mom and dad, and we're going to cut the cords for negative connections to mom and dad. So all you got to do is literally, if you don't want to move your arms, you can imagine it, a light sword coming down, whatever. The actions actually do mean something, though. So we're cutting the cords. If you're in a place where you can't do it, where it's embarrassing, or you have to you can't shine your light as bright because it looks weird, whatever. It's understandable, but just visualize it then. So we're cutting the cords, mom and dad. Now we're going into brother and sister, if you had any. Brother and sister, if you have any. We're cutting the cords to negative ties, negative cords that have been connected to our brothers and our sisters. Aunts and uncles. Any negative connections you have to your aunt, to your uncle. Maybe a great aunt or a great uncle. Anytime they would have berated you or what have you, we're cutting those ties, cutting those cords, those connections, the emotional hangouts that we have with them. Whack. Cut it. Whack. 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 All right. And now we're moving on. And if you're watching this in a replay here, give it a try. You will feel different. I kid you not. I don't know how these things work, and it's not always for me to know how everything works. If I knew how everything worked on this planet, then I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be running the planet, theoretically. But I don't know anything other than I feel better, so I do this. There we go. And it's been recommended by Saint Germain. All right, so now we're going to go. We did aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. We're going to do cousins. All right, so any cousins, first, second, third cousins that we have who have not gotten along with, or maybe you were in competition with, or your grandparents were nicer to this cousin versus you. Whatever it is, we're cutting those negative cords. Cousins. Whack. 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 So we've cut cords for our cousins, our aunts, our uncles, our parents, and our grandparents. That's all we're going to cut today. You may feel just a wee bit lighter. Energetically speaking, your body doesn't know the difference. Whether you are physically talk to them and end it, or whatever. You in your body's mind. You and your body, two separate fields here. Your body is feeling a lot lighter, feeling more relief. Some of the cortisol that you may have had, certain situations, is probably gone. And if you allow yourself to lean into it and not come at it from a instant cynical standpoint, like, what is he doing? This is crazy. Or this guy's, whatever. It really does work. If you go through in a cynical way, or if you're not in belief, and everything works, but you also have to believe that it's going to work. The runner who didn't run the race, run for practice, believes that sitting there in his or her mind, running that race and winning it every time is just as valuable as running around the track. That's engineering, not science, from my nephew. All right, so we're back to the chat here, and hopefully you feel a lot looser here. This will get faster. Just trying to describe it, but really, as we go on in the dawning, we'll just keep cutting cords, and working towards freeing all those negative connections that we have to everybody out there, the universe in general, so to speak. All right. Spilt some coffee, but that's no big deal. We'll clean that up after. All right. So what we're going to do now is channel. I'm going to bring in Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain. We're going to drop into a channeling. If it's the first time you've seen me channel, I'm a semi-conscious channeler. So from that end, I can reach out and not spill my coffee, hopefully. I can check the time because I don't want to take too long forever here. Honestly, I've channeled Saint Germain. It's gone over an hour. And I don't want that for you guys, but Saint Germain knows the time more better than I do because he keeps stopping at like 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, usually. So that works. All right. So, Angela, welcome. Grateful that you made it. We have not channeled. If you missed the replay there, what we did this morning, this dawning in the beginning, was we did cord cutting, which we'll be doing on a daily basis, and cutting cords of negative connections to our family members, our aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, and our parents. And all you have to do is visualize their names or them, their face, or cousin, the word cousin, and then just cut the cord. Visualize the light cord between you and either the name cousin or them or what have you, or just the light cord coming out towards your cousin and just cutting that cord. And it's amazing what can happen. All right, so we're going to go ahead and channel here. And so I count down from 5 to 0 when I channel. And we'll see what we've got as far as message for today. Pardon me. Woke up with a bit of a froggy throat. So bear with me. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good dawning and welcome. Welcome to Good Dawning with Mr. Floyd. We are Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain. We are channeling through Josh, through him, to you, for you, so you can be a better soul, so you can help to not dovish your universe. What we have been doing cord cutting. We've been talking about not absorbing people's energies, if you have been listening the past couple of days as well, where you can put up boundaries for people's energies. When we are talking about cord cutting, what are we saying? What is Josh saying when we are saying, he is saying, you are cutting the cords. You are imagining the cords that are being cut between you and another person. Well, every time that you are interacting with somebody, however it is, be it your boss, because they are complaining about your TPS reports, or be it your parents, and they are complaining about your shirt, or be it your family, directly your parents, your spouse maybe, or your children, and they are complaining about this, that, or the other. Maybe you are out coming home late for work the other day. Whatever it is, you are creating an energetic tie. So they are complaining, and you are absorbing that energy. So they are putting a tendril out, so to speak, an energetic tendril. If you only see 1% of the light spectrum for a reason. You would lose your mind. You would be like, somebody would walk in the room and they'd say, I love you. And you'd see an energetic light beam come from them to you. You would not want to see all of this going on all the time. Imagine if you are walking in New York City and all the energies, everybody passing each other would be shining light and bright, and it would be moving all over the place. There'd be energy moving everywhere. You could not stand it, and you could not be able to stand and see it all the time. It would be too much. So for everybody that you come into contact with, when you are standing with Fran at the water cooler, or you are eating lunch in your 35 minutes, you are getting trauma dumped on, if you remember what we were talking about the other day. When you are eating your lunch, if you have not put up a barrier, then Fran is going to, or a boundary, same difference. The boundary is the barrier. So if you are putting up the boundary, saying, I do not allow this in my energetic field, you will not get a tendril from Fran while you are eating lunch about her dramas and her traumas. You will not have that attached to you. You will not be part of her dramas and her traumas. Poof. By her throwing that energy to you, there was a connection. So if she is sitting there and trauma dumping on you, and you did not put up the boundary, then your energy field is really receiving all of that negativity that Fran is dumping, where she is complaining about her children and her work and how she hates to do her TPS reports, and she has not 5 but 6 bosses who complain about her TPS reports. Ha ha ha. And so from that end, you are absorbing all of that negativity from Fran. So yes, we were talking about this yesterday, but we just kind of went fast. But your energetic field is getting denser. Her energy is lower in vibration, correct? Correct. She is trauma dumping. Or your parents, they are yelling at you. Same difference. No difference. Fran's trauma dumping, your parents yelling at you. Why are you allowing Fran to trauma dump on you? Because your parents yelled at you. Think about that for a moment, but we are going to move on. So when your parents are yelling at you, or when Fran is trauma dumping on you, you are getting an electronic. You can think of electronic, not really electronic, but an electric field is being created. There we go. An energetic field between you and Fran. So this energetic beam, so to speak, like a tendril, is coming from Fran, from your parents, to you and attaching to you. And they are throwing the energies through that attachment to you. Your energetic field is absorbing that energy. So if that energy is low, your parents are yelling and saying that you need to do this and blah, 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 and you aren't hearing it, of course. It sounds like Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. But whatever they are screaming at you, it is impacting your auric field. You're bringing down your light. It is denser energy. It is aimed at you and vibrating at a slower. Remember, we said lower, and there's nothing lower about vibrations, but slower vibration. All vibration is honored at whatever speed it is, but it's not lower, it's just slower. So we honor the slower vibration, but it is going to slow down your auric field. It's going to slow your vibration down. Thus, you start feeling depressed, upset, angry. The lower energies. Are you correlating all of this? Are you putting all of this together? So you are sitting there and you are getting trauma dumped. We're switching back to Fran. So you're getting trauma dumped by Fran at lunch. We're using Fran and your parents as the grand examples. So you are at lunch at work, and Fran, you have 35 minutes. You did not put up any boundaries. You are just like, Fran, how is your day? Open key. You have never put up a boundary. You have never said, Fran, I don't want to go there with you. I love you, but I don't want to discuss that. You've never said that. So there's no boundaries. That's dangerous, but nonetheless, you are leaving your auric field open. No boundaries means you are allowing your auric field to be messed with. I want to repeat that. If you have no boundaries with anybody, your auric field, you are going, take it away. I do not care what you throw at my auric field. I am willing to accept that. Take this as a new way to look at boundaries. We're going to expand on that at some point, I am sure. But that is a great new way to look at boundaries. Would you let somebody cut you up and down? No. You know the effects of that. You get angry. You get frustrated. You instantly have to play in lower energies unless you are in a real centered space. Maybe you are grounding at the grass and somebody says something to you, then you can be like, I'm in the park grounding in the grass. Whatever they say, I'm rubber, your glue bounces off me and sticks to you, so to speak. But nonetheless, most times you're going to get angry and upset. That is the point. You have to set up boundaries. Get lower energies hit you. You respond in your body with lower energies. You come up with lower energies. You get cut off in traffic and somebody flicks you off as they are driving and cutting you off. You respond with a honking the horn and going, F you too, because you got hit with the lower energy. Then you shake it off going, what happened? I do not normally respond this way. So we go back to Fran. You're sitting there and Fran is trauma dumping on you at lunch. Your energetic field is getting denser, more solid, less vibrational. You get up from lunch. You have not said anything to Fran. You are going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel heavy. You might even be a tad bit depressed. You might start thinking about the negatives in your universe. You might start feeling that your universe is a little dervishy, even if it's not. Why? Because you have been sitting there getting bombarded, I should say, with Fran's negative dervishing energies. So I feel you bounced into lunch. Hey, Fran, how are you? What an awesome day. I'm having the best day I have ever had at work. My TPS reports were not returned. None of my 5 bosses contacted me. They all love my TPS reports. I love my universe. Fran starts dumping on you. Do you love your universe in 35 minutes? You hear about people and try to understand what they say. You don't want to take that trauma dump. That is what happens. You are wee, and then you after lunch you are woo. You are not as excited. You have been flattened by, you've been run over by the energies of Fran. And if you want to have that, that's fine, but you have to put up your boundaries. You have the choice when you are sitting there at lunch to not get trauma dumped on. You could say, Fran, I love you. What's positive in your universe? I want to hear what's positive. We always talk about I understand that your children are hoodlums, or you call them hoodlums, or whatever it is in your universe. I understand all of that, but nothing's changed. So what is good? Let's talk about something. Let's find something good. That is your job as the light worker. You direct the light of the conversation. Are you understanding? You are not having to be the victim of lower energies if you stand in your frame. That's why they are saying, don't give up your light. Wow. Are you understanding all of this? Don't give up your light. Don't stomp out your light. By stomping out your light, you allow them to dim you even further. You are purposely then dimming your light. So you're like the dim switch, right? So you turn down the dimmer switch. And most of them now are push button, but I am just as old school. So you turn the rotary dial to the dimmer switch, the analog dimmer switch, not the digital. And you turn it, and the light bulb goes dimmer. That is like the energies you are getting from Fran at lunch. Your light bulb goes dimmer. Your energies go dimmer. The ability to help gets dimmer. Your ability to work well gets dimmer. You get a call. You are after lunch from Fran. You get a call from your best friend, and you are at your desk, and you can take phone calls where you work. So you get your phone call, and you're like, hello? And they are like, hi, how are you? And you're like, I am all right. What's going on? You would not be all bouncy. You are bouncy before you had lunch with Fran. Remember, oh, hi, Fran. It's going to be awesome. Best day ever. My TPS reports were perfect. How about you? Awesome day. Now, 40 minutes later, after your 35-minute lunch, and you're talking to your friend about your plans for dinner tonight, you're like, I don't care. We will go wherever you want to go. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out, but it's Fran. It was just another garbage lunch with Fran. And then you start going into those energies. You are still eating lunch with Fran, but you are now at your desk. Why? Because Fran is still sitting in your arc field as a heavy, dense energy. Are you in understanding of all of this? This is how people affect you. This is why when you go into crowds, Josh had an opportunity to work as a security guard for a large company that does like Red Rocks concerts, but he's not going to take the job because it's too much energies to stand there for 10 hours in a crowd of 30,000 people. You're going to absorb all that energy, and as a light worker, that's a lot of energies. You don't generally, the more light you absorb, the more light you can carry through the universe, through your toroidal field and into the grander field. You don't want to be around a light that is dimmer. It'll dim your light. So you don't go hanging around there. You don't see most people, you don't see lots of light workers going to the diviest of bars. Let's put it that way. Why you step into a dive bar, even if you are in slower, there we go. I'm going to say lower again. Slower vibration. So if you're in a slower vibration, you are not in 5D. You are in 4D, per se, whatever. It doesn't really matter. These don't even really matter. It's how fast you are vibrating. So if you are vibrating really fast and you walk into a dive bar, you are going to start to vibrate slower. Why? Because the denser energies, it's like you have to wade through the energies of the dive bar because of the denser energies. Everybody who is drinking is going to have a solid denser energy for sure. Drinking will solid up your arc field. It bricks it up, so to speak. We are dehydrating Josh again, but that happens. So if you are eating lunch with Fran, you are visiting with your parents, and your parents are going, and maybe your mom's going, you didn't iron your shirt. Why did you not iron your shirt? The moment she says that, you are going to go, boom, my energy is dropping down. If you stand in your light, and this is why we say, do not give up your light. Mom, I am comfortable in my unironed shirt. You raised me well, and you taught me to iron like the iron chef. Ha, ha, ha. I am the world's greatest ironer. But today I felt lazy, and I am okay with that. You are standing in your frame. You are not accepting that from your mom, and you will not lose your energy. you will not get denser in vibration. You will be like super force field. Your boundaries become the super force field. Your standing in your light becomes the super force field to the lower dense energy. Poof! I am happy with the way I am. There goes the negative energy. The lower, slower vibrational energies are bouncing off me, so to speak. Why? Because I am standing in my frame. I am standing in my light. Are you understanding all of this? Energetics, it's amazing stuff. So when you are getting beat down, you can climb into it and go, oh, here we go. Fran is beating me down again. She is talking about how her hoodlum children and this and that. Or you can say, Fran, we've talked about your hoodlum children. What about your awesome side hustle you have been talking about starting? How's that going? Reframe the conversation. Stay in your light. Don't let them smack you over, so to speak. You will feel it. It'll be like getting hit by an energetic Mack truck, so to speak. So your parents, when your mama says to you, you did not iron your shirt, and you go, that is correct. You are standing in your frame. You are honoring what she is saying. Yes, I honor the fact that you iron your shirts. Today, I did not iron my shirt, and I don't care. I am free to not iron my shirt as an adult. But you did teach me to iron well, and when I go to work, you could even honor them. When I go to work, I have the best pressed shirts ever. I am the best dressed in the office because you taught me to iron my Oxford shirts immediately after they come out of the dryer to make them perfect. So you could do that too. You don't have to smash them down. You could honor where they are by honoring their energies. Like I iron my work shirts. I just don't iron my casual shirts, but I love you and thank you for teaching me to iron. When I go to work, I am super confident because my shirts are crisp. Who could be upset about that? It's how you choose to frame these things. You could sit there and go, here goes mom. She is talking about how I don't iron my shirt. What's next? She's going to tell me I should have ironed my pants too. Where's the crease? So to speak, if you have a parent like that. Josh's mom never ironed a damn thing, but nonetheless, we're just using that as an example. So from your end, Josh learned to iron in the army, where you have to iron, everything has to have a crease, so to speak, unless you are in the field. Then it doesn't matter. It has to have mud on it instead. But from your end, can you see where you are playing in energetics? Well, all of this is up to you and your boundaries and your field and how you want to move. It's like swimming around, so to speak, in energies. So if you have a friend in your universe and you are going to work or wherever it is, you are just standing at the grocery store and somebody wants to start dumping, yeah, these lines are so crazy. Be like, well, I'm grateful I have a grocery store to stand in line at. I'm not in Timbuktu, where I have to go and find my food in the I have to go to the vegetable plot, so to speak. I can go get fresh vegetables anytime. So you could do it that way. But keep in mind, because you are a light worker, it's your job to understand how the light works. Are you getting that? You cannot work in the light and call yourself a light worker if you are not understanding energetics of light. Well, you can, but you are not working in it. You are playing in the light. You are dabbling. Or you are davishing in the light. But if you understand that Fran is trauma dumping on you, and all you have to do is put up a barrier. Fran, I love you. This is my boundary. At work, I will even get a beer and sit in your cell, one beer, because I don't drink more than one and only one a week, and sit in your cells for 30 minutes. I will give it to you because I'm a friend. You could even do that but you understand what you're signing up for. As a light worker, you can play with energies others can't because you understand morphing energetics. Like if you go to, we said this before, to the haunted house, you're not going to really be ginning up the gin or really terrorizing your inside. You know it's an energetic game. That's how they are making money, to scare you. So you're going in it in a different manner. You are seeing the vibration space in a different way. This is much bigger than just what we are channeling today, and we are going to continue this, of course. We are Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain, and we have channeled. Keep this in mind when you are going out in your universe today. See the energetics. See the vibration. Are they dumping their lower vibrationals slower? I keep saying lower. You want to think it's lower, and for Josh, and for most humans, you are going to think it is the lower vibration. I am at the higher space. Slower vibration. Denser vibration. There we go. That's how your auric field gets more mucked up, denser with the dense energies. That's why we're cutting the cords to the denser energies that have been fragmentally left behind in your frame. Like if you don't cut the energy from Fran at lunch, you will be carrying the traumas from Fran in your arc field. Your arc field is now you plus Fran's traumas from lunch. There you go. So that's why you go, okay, I am going to cut the card, Archangel Michael. Myself, I am just pulling that energy out and cut the card. Poof, Fran. Poof, done. No lunch. Clear the energies from Fran at lunch. You could sage yourself. You could also use Palo Santo. You could take a salt bath. Whatever you choose. You could stand out under the moon with intention, the full moon, of course, with intention to cleanse yourself. If a really bright sunny day, you could, if it's clear out, of course, and there's no, well, either way, a bright sunny day and it's clear, and we're just going to laugh at clear out, you get it, I think. Nonetheless, you could try to connect through the sun to the grand central sun and try to work with Isis to clear as well. Or you could call in Archangel Raphael for clearing. So that's the things you could do. Saint Germain and the violet flame. You invoke the violet flame. Just stand there and call it up. I call forth the violet flame to clear me. You could use Josh's golden fence technique, where you see the fence coming across you in a field. You're just standing there, and this golden fence comes through you to cleanse your energies, moves the other direction to cleanse you, and pushes all the garbage out. There's lots of things you can do, but the big thing is boundaries. Don't allow those energies to come into your arc field to begin with. Start setting up energetic boundaries. You're the light worker. Control the light that you are working with. So when you're at lunch with Fran, tell her you love her, but you want to hear about her positives. When you are getting yelled at by your mom for not ironing your shirt, explain to her that you like to be casual on the weekends and that your work shirts are ironed to the teeth because of her. And give her that honoring, but you're honoring your light as being a lazy because it's Saturn day. You don't have to be any. You're just hanging at mom and helping her do the lawn or whatever you are doing. So there you go. Keep that in mind. Wherever you are in your universe, whoever you are communicating with, it's an energetic dance. What are you going to allow into your auric field? You're going to absorb the denser energies, and you have to cleanse it out, and you do a cord cutting or whatever, intentional cleansing, an egg cleansing, whatever. Colin Raphael, there's a million different things you can do. But the point being is you are now absorbing that. And so if you are eating lunch with Fran or going to hang out with your parents and your mom is dissing you because your shirt is wrinkled, if you do nothing, you are going to feel that diss. It's going to stick to your field, and that's when your energies drop, your vibration drops, your emotions kick in of sadness or lack or worthiness. Maybe I am a slob. You will start to feel that because your mom has stuck that to your arc field through her trauma of her parents, not her mother, ironing everything and telling her, you do not leave this house if your clothes are not ironed. So at least she is not losing her nut on you about your clothes not being perfectly ironed all the time, like her mother did. So you are breaking that generational trauma down as you calm her on your Saturday wrinkled shirt. Are you understanding how these energetics are working? Because this is some of the most important stuff in your universe. You are wondering why you feel beat up. You are allowing people to beat you up. Slow down in your universe to see the energetic dance you are having with everybody in your field. Every toroidal field you come across, whoosh, are they positive? Are they trying to push you backwards? Are they trauma dumping on you? Are they loving on you? If they are giving you love, or telling you have the most awesome day ever, leave that card. That's a positive chord. You don't want to cut that. You're brightening your energetic field. It is more vibrational. You are getting love. You're getting positive pushes forward. You're getting validation. Not that you validate yourself, but they are seeing you for your universe and accepting it however it is. So they're not bringing you down. Nothing, they're just leaving you neutral, and that is blessed too. So keep that in mind. Every energetic conversation you have, every conversation is moving energies. So are they leaving you up? Are they leaving you down? We're going to discuss this further for sure. Releasing transmission. There we go. So the energetic dance. Wow. That one was kind of deep. So some channelings are lighter, and I don't feel as like this one. I kind of felt like I'm coming when drunks like coming out of a drunkard and like, whoa, wait a minute. Ugh, I punched in the face. Kind of wake up. So yeah, there we go. My mom gets angry when I try Yenix. My mom gets angry when I try to redirect her complaining to positivity. I don't allow her to drain me. Exactly. Drain me anymore. but definitely avoid conversations because he dims my happiness with trauma dumping. Exactly. As long as you know that, you know how to play in the energetics now. You don't have to be the victim. Because we were. If you don't know, you're just like, what did I do? I don't know why I feel so bad hanging around from Fran at lunch, or in Yannick's case, hanging around my mom. I don't know what I deserve to deserve this. And you start eating it, and this is how it crushes you. And Saint Germain's telling me, and telling you, you don't have to do that anymore. Boundaries. I love you, Mom, but I'm not putting up with that anymore. Give me a hug. you know. And at that point, once you set up the boundary, Saint Germain's coming back here real quick. Once you set up the boundary, you have no. It is not your job to worry about the reaction. You will see the person for the real self. Once you set up a boundary and say, Fran, I don't want to talk about your negative children anymore, your children anymore in a negative way. You will see the real Fran. You will understand if you are dealing with a real friend that immediately, or if she was just using you to trauma dump. Do you understand? We'll say that one more time. Once you put up your boundaries, this has been important stuff. You hear this from other spiritual people, but you may not have heard it in a deeper way like this. So if you are putting up your boundary and they say they reject your boundary, I am not making you negative. What are you saying? My children are not negative. I'm not talking in a negative way. Then you are not being respected. Keep that in mind. Your boundaries are you. You said, this is my energy. You put your energy as not being respected. Release. There you go. So that's it. That's what it boils down to. All right. So on that note, are you being respected today? Can you respect your energy enough to put up those boundaries? No, I'm not going to listen to that anymore. I love you, but it's like Groundhog's Day, the movie from Bill Murray. And we keep having the same conversation at lunch where you keep dumping about your children, Fran. That's not happening. All right. So I got to go back and listen to that one because some of them stick a little better than others, but I think there was something in there. Boundaries, the big thing. Big thing if you're a light worker. All right. I love you guys and I'm grateful. I have not yet, so sometime in the next hour or so, I will shoot ISIS. There we go. And get that uploaded. So it should be uploaded shortly. And other than that, we are grateful for you and I love you. And we'll see you all in the next. And again, if you're new here, please if you made it this far and you're watching it in the replay, please subscribe, hit the bell. And if you want a one-on-one session with me, I didn't pin it there. And just tag me at Mr. Floyd Channelings at gmail.com. And if you're looking for something to do outside of that, if you can't find anything on YouTube, come on over to the community page where I have videos from Millie and Fatima, and a few others. I still have to fill up the folder. Ellen, who are channel members who have their own channels as well. Or you could watch a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of the Bashar's got taken down. Bashar copyrights Bashar, so to speak. And so since Bashar's copyrighted and all of his channelings are actually paid events, when they end up on YouTube, they sit there for a while, but they disappear. The new ones will rotate in and then they disappear. So half of the Bashars disappeared overnight. There's a few newer ones that are there. But so if you want to watch the Ultimate Channeler, Daryl Anka, Bashar, or Abraham Hicks, she's there too. She's really good. If you want to learn how to manifest, watch Abraham Hicks. Esther, oof. She can walk around on stage with her eyes open. You don't even know she's channeling. It's insane. All right. Yeah. Grateful for you all. Have a blessed and most favored day. And love you. I will see you all in the next. And remember, your energy, that's you. So you wouldn't let somebody violate you physically. I'm going to punch you. You'd be like, no, you're not. You're getting punched energetically every time you don't put up a boundary and let somebody trauma dump on you. Have a blessed day.